boys. Go ahead. Rock Talk. Rock Talk. Rock Talk, episode 2. Brought to you by Hillbilly and that old Winchester swamp water, boys. A little bit of that in the tank. But just like your gas tank, oh, that's right. What's going on? Alright. Let's see if we can make episode 2 quicker. I'm going to talk about things that I detested while working in a music store. Here's something I've noticed. And I know some of you are going to perceive this in a certain way, but you know what? Just fuck. Alright. From this point further, going forth, there's probably going to be some mature language, so I apologize. I know out of the heart the mouth speaks, and it would be better to have a more clean civil tongue. But sometimes you have to use certain words to convey certain visceral feelings. Anyways. Alright, here's one that always got me. I noticed that individuals that would usually be at the beginner to somewhat intermediate level would be generally way more picky about any type of minor cosmetic flaws or blemishes on the instrument, rather than worrying about if it actually suited how they interacted with the instrument. It just drove me up a wall. And obviously, just like every individual, we have our perspective biases. So, you keep that in mind. But certain things, and luckily not this one, but maybe this one. Very little guy. But those 80s Roadstar 2s that I'm so lucky enough to own and have quite the battered necks on them. And I know that's a contention for a lot of people. Can you play necks with dings bangs in it, boys? I can. I'll play anything that I have access to. But I just noticed people that should have been more worried about playing were more worried about minute things. Just stuff that you honestly wanted to sit there. Oh my goodness. I would have not have worked for them as long as I did if I wasn't dependent on that income, and it was more so like a burner job. It's just some of the people I just want to say, you should worry about actually holding the cord in tune and not squeezing the damn neck, and you're going to break it compared to, just. So, there's that. Now, I will say this. Here's one common thing that I am very much in agreement with. There are certain necks, be it I've played poly necks, I've played nitro necks that feel like this. Nitro, right? Sometimes they will just feel so chalky and gummy and just whether you have to do any alleviation yourself and the old Scotch Brite trick or some quadruple aught, not steel wool, the more fabric oriented material that you can acquire at Lowe's, uh, Home Depot. Do they still have Ace Value Plus hardware stores? Y'all remember them infomercials? Bob Vila here. I'm from the era that I miss seeing Bob Vila and Billy Mays tell me about things in the 2 minute blocks between whatever 21-minute to 48-minute stupid indoctrination program I was watching. I miss those days. I miss old Billy Mays and Bob Vila. Anyways, more pet peeves about guitar store stuff. I think there are certain rules. There's certain guitar store etiquette, especially you should come in, even if you're just dicking around and just killing time. If you're gonna plug up and play, there's the certain appropriate level. Like nobody cares how badass you can play Blackened or fucking uh, whatever Mark Knopfler licks you've sat and burn on. Uh, the the only one cliche line that I hated hearing. Oh, that's such a common one. I can't stand to hear "Sweet Child of Mine." I cannot stand it. Can't stand the song. Can't stand fucking. I might touch on this in a second. Things so that I'll touch on loved guitar heroes that I've slowly started warming up to in my later years. Again, I'm 32. And I'll give you an example. In the last 5 years, I just started really actually realizing how much of a monster Eddie Van Halen was. And just the composition skills. That's the thing. The composition and riff writing, man. You can do Flash all day, buddy. Like you can. Oh, I'm not gonna. But you can. It's easy to get like some Flash licks in there and do stuff that people are like, buddy. Here's a classic one for any hardcore kid. Just the whole, especially my era, if you wasn't hitting them sweep gargagebios, boys, you make fucking get in or get out. But man, oh, guitar store pet peeves. So appropriate amp volume. I mean, yeah, dude. Nobody wants to hear like how there's only certain people, like old school jazz cats, and I'm talking the old guys that like, I'm cool if they turn up. Like, I want to hear that. Or if they do some pedal steel bend, chicken picking, like I'm about that. But anything heavy or rock and roll, man, like just have it loud enough so you can hear it. Because there's no way you're going to be able to really test the amp unless we didn't have the private rooms you could pull material in when I worked at the shall not be named major national retail chain that's green screen. 068. That's what era I was in. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I was in 068 era. Anyways. Okay. I mean, I hate to sound like this, but people talking about woodcuts and things for The only time I start really caring about that is if you're talking about like made in America or Japanese crafted stuff. Now, yes, hold on. Let me catch my bullshit real quick. You can easily hit the lottery and get a South Korean or usually Indonesian, like South Korean, some Indonesian. I haven't seen it too much with the Chinese ones or anything. Something that's got like some awesome flame in it, some quilt in it. Like that's, I mean, you can. Guitars with mojo is a thing too. Again, from my experience, if I was to go into a music store, I can I can basically walk through the line of guitars and I can grab it, just get a vibe on my preferences, what I like. Obviously, tell what the setup's like, or the factory setup. Has this thing been set forever? Nothing worse than your super nice guitar setting up high, not accounting for the tendency for heat to rise and not giving them like weekly adjustments and like, oh, drives me up wall, drives me up wall, boys. I tell you what. Uh oh. Hold on now. Let me get some of this. Let me get some of this in me, boys. Winchester Swamp Water, boys. If you're not from Kentucky or the surrounding areas and you like the best ginger ale soft drink, you need to get you an L81. A late one, buddy. You get you a late one, an L81, buddy. Hit me up, L81. I'll do commercials for you. I know I'm wild, but y'all, house cats sell products. All right. Or I hated when people would come in and it's like, quit trying to compare your knowledge to me. I mean, if you have something informative to share, I would gladly love to learn. I'm type of person. I love growth, education, bettering oneself as an individual. Because, I mean, real talk. If we were ever going to sort out society, it's coming to the common fact that we all are creatures that are facing a given death and trying to make the ease and process of going towards that death as growth oriented, developmental as possible. Because again, the rest of it that we do, it's a fucking distraction. Movies are a distraction. We live not considering our own mortality, and we just idly stand by and look for things to fill in the time until you fucking take that hard turn, buddy, and Dale Earnhardt's waking you up and saying, buddy, let's take a ride. Number three, God believe. But anyways, that's a little heavy. That's a little heavy, boys. Be better if it's on the bridge, but that's alright. Alright, enough of that record. I do not like to listen to heavy music. I love me some good old, just like smooth, easy listening. I tell you, boogie woogie booty shaking music. If you was gonna try to make music, find you whatever cut, division, jib of boogie woogie booty shaking music and play it. You can do it in jazz, you can do it in country, you can do it in the hardcore. Like, find you some boogie woogie booty shaking music, and you do all right. If people are moving, You grooving. If people's is moving, you grooving, buddy. All right, 19 minutes. Get back to the whole purpose I was talking about. Guitar store pet peeves, selling stuff to people. I just had a lot of entitled, stupid people come in, and I mean I'm stupid too. We're all stupid, but just the Dunning Kruger effect type stupid. Just like you're just sitting here fucking running your mouth. I don't give a fuck. You rejected my actual genuine input and offer to like this would be better suited to you. Like can't tell you how many people I would tell like just like wait, come back with a little more money. We can get stuff. There are some things like if you know you're in it for the long haul, like try to invest. Hunt for deals. Shop used all day. Let me tell you that right now. Shop used all day. Side hustle I had, man. Used furniture doing my main one of my main gigs and another man's treasure, buddy. Somebody getting rid of it could be your golden ticket, buddy. Um, yeah, man. Hold on a second. A little bit of adult content right here. Woo! A little adult content right there. Yeah, man. I don't know. Had a lot of people that just wanted to be perceived as guitar players, but really didn't care about interacting with the guitar. It's just so wild to me. I mean, I'm sure that happens in many hobbies, many creative outlets. You just want the identity of it. You don't want to do it. Fucking wild, man. Buddy, I'll tell you what. Okay, let's see if I can get into this real quick. Typical famous guitar things that you would think most guitar players that have been playing for a long time would have been into early that I came to late. So Eddie Van Halen was one. Last 5 years, I really started being like, him and Alex, buddy. Him and Alex, buddy. Um, and pressed to say, even though probably some of the best material is in the Roth years, I'm a Van I'm a Van Hagar kind of guy. They like that Van Hagar. I don't know what to tell you. Um, it's my ears better. Certain voices and certain composition styles just better to me. It's all perspective. I would never. How do you? What is the best way to approach that when you just like somebody loves something and you just like it hits your palate and you're just like, fucking, I don't need none of that. I don't need none of that right there. But obviously, you know that that invokes passion and joy and inspiration to the other person. So it's always about I respect what you love, but I hope communication and gets to where individuals on any topic and source can just, man, I fucking think that's wild. And that would never fit for me, but I'm glad. And there's no, situations where you only want to like rebuke. You want to rebuke on a lot of things to help correct and growth people. But again, that's perspective based. What is your growth? What do you think? Like simple. Well, touching back to it, if society was ever going to work out, which I read a certain book which says how it's going to work out, but it's all about the common knowledge that each creature that is born into this plane of existence faces a certain death. we know we're going to die. And with that, the whole intent and goal for the species should be to make that process as growth oriented, developmental, and informative as possible, just to ease you into just the acceptance, the knowledge, and making that process for everyone alongside you as easy as possible. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, man, it's wild. Uh, last couple of years, I finally realized how important ACDC is. I know that's probably you're like, I mean, as a little kid, bro, don't get me wrong. Like I'd hear Thunderstruck and all that, and be like, that's badass, man. Not this episode. Next episode, I'll probably talk about early music and albums I was exposed to. Um, what's another? I think something that most like rock and roll or contemporary guitar players takes a little bit, unless you just, and funny enough, I'm from Appalachia. Was exposed to bluegrass early, but what I'm getting at is like the understanding of how important, but how impressive country playing is. And the older you get, the more you realize about playing is just like the dynamic play, your dynamics and phrasing, dynamics, phrasing, and feel. I wonder what old Uncle Larry would say to me on that, or Mr. Jimmy Bruno. Both of those excellent, or Marshall Harrison. I wonder. Again, those are my three favorite YouTube players, and they're awesome. And I wonder what they would say concerning that. Phrasing, feel. What's the other one I said? Thank goodness it's recorded back there. But anyways, I feel like those are the phrasing, feel, dynamics. There we go. Man, it is hard to have stream of consciousness and do this, but I'm trying. We'll get better. I'm gonna do more of these because if anything, this is very cathartic for me, so I enjoy it. The one or two people that listen to it, I'm very thankful. Hopefully, I've provided some form of entertainment because again, it's that whole concept of whatever path and journey we're on, and the different routes probably a lot of us will take at the end. I just want to make the ease of getting there as informative and enjoyable as possible. Um, 27 minutes. Let's see. Who else? Who else guitar wise? Okay, so when I was really young, I feel like I was in a generation where the classic rock was so pushed as an identity for millennial, like 90s kid millennials. Like by the time you were in high school, like those prototypical like, man, Led Zeppelin, that's buddy. Somebody help me. Here we go. Here we go. Somebody help me. There are Zeppelin tunes I enjoy. Here's what I'm getting at. And there are tunes of this group I enjoy, but somebody please help me navigate. Just because I have had no desire to dig into it, help me navigate and understand why the Beatles are so like. I know some of you are like, oh no, this dumbass hillbilly right here is gonna start talking some wild stuff about the. I just no. I hear a tune like Strawberry Fields, My guitar gently weeps. I do understand. I'm like, that's some well composed. I could probably barely name a few. I'm sure I've heard the Hey Jude song, and I'm just kind of like, oh, that's fine. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you the kind of man I am. I'd rather listen to Elvis and Scotty Burton tearing it up than the Beatles. So if anybody's got any recommendations on the Beatles to help me out, because I just, buddy, I don't know. All right, we're about at 30 minutes. Rock Talk, episode 2. I love you. I'll see you soon. Rock Talk.